One trading strategy to rule them all. I've included this picture here because this is exactly the way I look at it. You have hot picks. Now, some of you guys don't even know what this is. The OGs know what this is, which is who gives a fuck about hot picks anymore? Then you have ICT and all these modern day scalping, all of this crap. And then you have this, the one everybody cares about, the one that works just the best, gappers. Right? Now, for the people who don't know what hot picks were basically a big thing in COVID, where there was this website. I'm not even going to tell you what the website was called. There was this website, you would go to it, and every day there would be a list of stocks that some genius thought they were going to go up, bro. And then me and my friends, we would go and we would try and fucking trade them. We would lose so much money. Gappers work. So we're going to explain this thing over here, and you need to forget about these. We're going to explain what gappers are, how they work, how you can make a shit ton of money from them, how it works for me, how it works for my friends. Let's get into it. So why do these other strategies suck? So ICT, scalping, hot picks, all this stuff. The first reason is they require a shit ton of leverage. Now I know brothers who literally owe money to Robinhood, to these brokers, to banks, because they took money out to be able to qualify for leverage. And then they use leverage. So it's like double leverage. This is absurdity. So they traded with leverage. Obviously they lost money. So now they owe money to the broker, Robinhood or whatever, and they also owe money to the bank. Do not use leverage if you have no idea what you're doing. I see all these people who are beginners, who have never traded ever before, who think it's a good idea to use 100 to 1 leverage and let's just make money, bro. It's stupid. Don't do that. These strategies require you to have so much leverage. Do not be doing that stuff. Just forget about that stuff, right? Second, it's options. Half these strategies require you to use options, right? If you're not using leverage, if you're not trading Forex, for example, then you're trading Apple or Nvidia calls or puts. You're using options. Don't trade options if you don't know what you're doing. This is genuinely risky stuff. This is horrible stuff. This can ruin your life. I'm not even just saying that to just say that. I know people who have ruined their fucking lives because they've just borrowed too much money. They're in too much debt. They used options. They didn't know what the fuck to do with it. And now they're in a bunch of debt. Do not be doing that stuff, bro. Do not be doing this. You need to just crazy. And the last thing is it's impossible to backtest. For any strategy, you need to be able to backtest it so you can actually make sure that it works and that you physically can trade it. There's no point backtesting a strategy and then turns out all of the trades that you could have placed, you would have been asleep. You need to backtest it, right? And half these strategies you can't even fucking backtest. It's impossible to backtest, right? And this is what's gonna happen if you use some of these strategies, bro. If you use too much leverage, you don't know what you're doing. You use options, you don't backtest. This is what's gonna happen to your account, bro. You're gonna be left with $9. You're gonna be down $257,000, bro. Don't be doing this shit. Do not be doing this shit. You need to have a strategy in place which works, which is sensible, and that isn't gonna get you jailed because you owe too much money to the bank. So before we get into that, quick heads up, I have my free trading bundle. Link in description. It includes a free course. It has ebooks inside. It has a trade tracker Notion template. It has a lot of stuff. Click the first link in the description. Go check it out. It's pretty good. So let's define the perfect strategy because we talked about some really shitty ones. Let's define the best strategy. If we had to trade the perfect strategy, what would it include? The first thing I would say that it has to include is a high risk to reward. Essentially, if you are putting in $1,000, right? You don't want to lose $1,000. You want to maybe lose $50, but you want to make $100. You see what I mean? So every $1,000 you put in, you want to make 100, or if you lose money, you lose 50. So you're making more than you would lose. That's what you need. You need high risk to reward. Second thing you need is no options. Do not fucking trade options, right? If you're a pro at this, you shouldn't be watching this video. You know what you're doing. But for the people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, do not even consider options. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. I know it sounds fun. I know it's fun seeing your money just triple and quadruple in 2 seconds, but it can also triple and quadruple downside. And now you owe that much money to the bank. Do not play around the options if you don't know what you're doing. It's fucked up. The third thing is that the perfect strategy, it shouldn't require $5 trillion to start. I see all these people who are like, okay, we're going to be trading Forex, but to be able to qualify for the margin, you need to have at least 50K in your account. It's like, bro, no, not everybody has 50K. When I started, I had like $4,000. I didn't have 50,000 to my name. Like, you can, it's horrible. You cannot have a strategy that requires that much money because most of these people don't have that much money. I didn't have that much money. I only had 4K. So it shouldn't need that much money. And the last thing you should have, or be, is repeatable. So you should be able to do it every day or every other day or a couple times a week. Because there's a bunch of strategies where you can only do it maybe once a week, once a month, twice a month. Like I see all of these like Wall Street bets and crypto people who have to wait 2-3 years for the bull market to come back to crypto and then they start trading. Like that's horrible. That's all out of your control. You need to have control over it. You need to be able to do it every single day so to make it repeatable. That is what the perfect strategy should include. Now, what are the steps to the perfect strategy? Like I just mentioned, right? What's the strategy I use? Right? The one strategy to rule them all. What is the strategy? What are the steps to it? The first step is to find volatile stocks daily. Right? We talked about being repeatable. We talked about not using options or leverage. We're using stocks. So you can just use your cash. You don't even need to have any leverage. And secondly, it's repeatable. So we need to find volatile stocks daily. We need to find a list of those volatile stocks, and I'll tell you how to find that list. Second thing is, from that list, when we find it for that specific day, we need to be able to choose the best one that we think is going to continue going up. Now, from that list, multiple might go up, but we just want to choose the one best that we think will go up the most. Step number 3 is to enter at a cheap price and then sell and repeat every single day. That's the whole idea. That's literally the whole idea. So let's go into it step by step. So the first step, like I mentioned, is stocks. You have to find the stocks. Now this in front of me is a list that I was talking about. How do you find this? Very simple. Search up a gap scanner, right? Finviz, TradingView, fucking YouTube, whatever. Search up a gap scanner. You need a gap scanner. Once you have a gap scanner, it will look something like this. You have the symbol, you have the gap percentage, you have all this other data. All this other data, it's kind of useful, but honestly, I never look at it. I'm only really interested at the symbol name and the gap percentage. If I have those two things, done. We're good to go. Now step number 2 is to choose. So once you have this massive list over here, the next thing is to choose from which one of those 10, 20, 50 stocks you're gonna pick. Which one is the best one, right? Now this is the hardest part. If you can get this correct, you're golden. You can make a shit ton of money. Now in the community, I tell you guys exactly which one of these stocks I'm trading every single day. So if you're in the community, you know. But the next step is to take all of these stocks, put them on TradingView, look at the pre-market charts, and then see, which one of these do I think will go up the most? Or will go up in the first place? Now, if you had to choose, right, a fucking challenge. If you had to choose from these 3, which one do you think when market opens will go up? Just take a fucking ponder. Now, if you pick this one, you're correct. If you pick these ones, you're wrong. Both of these, when the market opened, they plummeted. This one, when market opened, it went up instantly. So what does this have that these don't have? Like, what does this have so we can like study it, copy it, and look for these types of plays every single day? The one thing that this has is, you can see, this is VWAP, by the way. This purple line over here, this is VWAP. You can see that this opens below VWAP. This opens above, this opens above. Now, usually, the stocks that open below VWAP tend to do better, and they tend to go high quickly. These ones, when they open above VWAP, they kind of just nosedive down. This one opened above VWAP, this one opened above VWAP. They both nosedive down. This one, because they opened below VWAP, as soon as they opened, went up. So now we know. Okay, from the 50 stocks, whatever, I'm going to choose this one. Perfect. Now, before we move on, subscribe and like. Like, I'm giving you some sauce over here. If you're enjoying the video, like and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. Let's go. Step number 3 is to enter. So what do I look for in an entry, right? We've chosen the stock. We know we want to trade this one. How do we enter? Do we just enter as soon as market opens? No. The reason we don't do that is because most days, the stock actually ends up going down a little bit. So you can see the stock opens up over here and it went down. Now, if I entered over here, I would be drawing down like this much. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if I entered over here, I would lose out on all of these gains that I could have had if I waited 2 seconds and entered, let's say, over here. So you need to be entering at a drawdown. That's very, very important. 9 times out of 10, there is a drawdown. Some days, bro, I'm going to be honest, some days stock opens and instantly goes up. You're going to have to make a decision on whether you want to enter or not. But most days, you have a little bit of a drawdown. Sometimes it's 2%, 3%, 5%, etc. I like to enter at like a 5%-ish drawdown. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It really just depends. If the stock is really high and going up and up and up, I want a large drawdown. If the stock is kind of already a little down, like this one, I wouldn't really mind a huge drawdown. I would enter maybe 3-4%. Or even better, if there is a pre-market pivot, right? So if we go back to this, you can see over here, this was the stock that I traded. Over here, I'm going to be entering at this pivot. You can see this is the pre-market, and this dark blue over here is the post-market. You can see that this stock is opening up near this level, right? This is now acting as support. So as soon as this opens and it touches this level over here, I'm going to be entering because this is now acting as support, right? So that's exactly what I do. I wait for that, and then I enter when it touches a pre-market pivot. That's the first thing. Second thing is high volume. We need to see high volume. If you enter and the volume, the first opening volume is tiny, it's puny compared to the rest, you want to get out because that stock's not going to go anywhere. You need to have a high opening volume, because what this signifies is a couple of things. The first thing it tells you is that there's a bunch of people interested in the stock other than you, right? Traders all around the world are looking at these stocks and they're also getting in, which means that it's a higher chance of it going up because there's just more volume. That's the second thing. Third thing, obviously support area, we've talked about this. If there is a pre-market pivot, enter on that specific pre-market pivot. And for the last thing is the take profit, right? Where do you take profit? You take it profit, for me personally, there's like two different targets that I set. The first target is VWAP over here, and the second target is the pre-market high. Now this is most days, the pre-market high is like my main goal. So as soon as it hits the pre-market high, I just sell. But some days it's VWAP, like we'll see in this one. Now step number 4 is to take profit. You can see that I instantly sold when it hit VWAP. Now the reason I sold was because I could see that there was a shit ton of resistance. So as soon as it went up to VWAP, it would get sold off. Went up to VWAP, sold off, sold off, sold off. Some person was selling at VWAP. They were dumping their shares at VWAP because they knew it was going to be liquid there. So when I saw that, I was like, fuck it, let me sell as well. And that's instantly when I sold. And I made 23% from this one trade. From this one trade, I made 23%. And it took me 4 minutes. So if you were to put, let's say, 5K or even $1,000, if you put $5,000 in this, you made 23%, you would have made $1,000 in 4 minutes. That's literally how simple it is. And that is the same strategy that I use every single day. And this is the exact same method that I use in my community. So if you guys are still not in there, you guys should really come in here because you guys can see that we get some fucking crazy wins. This guy made 1,198. This guy made 628. This guy made 300. This guy made $23. People are making a shit ton of money inside. When you join, you get access to my watch list. So I literally tell you guys, I can't do anything more than this. I literally tell you the stocks I'm going to be trading. Hey guys, these are the stocks I'm going to be trading. I literally tell you. I can't do anything more for you. This is the most I can give you. You also get access to my trade reviews. So every single time I make a trade, you can see all of my trades over here. Every time I make a trade, I literally make a video going through step by step why I entered the trade, what I could have done better, how much money I made, blah, blah, blah. I literally tell you guys everything, all the trades that I make. And as a bonus, when you enter, you also get a free beginner's course, and you also get direct access to me on the DMs. So email me at thedracoroom@gmail.com right now to join the community, because I'm closing the group soon to just focus on the members inside. So if you guys want to get in before the group closes, make sure to email me at the email. Now don't forget, if you want to watch a video on I quit my job because of this day trading strategy where I explain everything, click the video that just popped up. It goes over this exact same strategy. It goes over how I did it. I tell you a little bit about my job and everything. Click that video. It's a really good one, really beneficial. And again, just a quick reminder, if you're genuinely serious, you actually want to make money with this, properly, join the community, this email right over here, email me there, and I'll see you guys inside. Peace.